You're tuned into No Good Music.
And here are your hosts, Rob and Jeremy.
Thank you.
Love it.
Jeremy.
I'm back. It's been, what, a year?
Yeah. When was the last, probably was Halloween.
Feels like it's been a while. Too long, really, too long.
Yeah, so Jeremy's back, and
I had some schedule changes in my real life work, which kind of affected me coming over, but
this is our
hopefully we can make it work now.
this is our summer series, I'm calling it, and where we're going to do some music news. We got new releases, and we have a song at the end we're going to play. But we're going to catch up a little. Jeremy and I went to, I don't know if I have the date here. We went to see Mammoth. Oh, here it is. It was way back in March.
Wow.
And at Wind Creek,
Yep.
our favorite place. And it was our third time seeing Mammoth.
Won't be my last.
So, Jeremy, tell me a little bit about the meet and greet, because I didn't do the meet and greet. I don't even know if maybe I saw your picture
Yeah.
that you sent me.
I think I sent it to you. It was awesome, actually. So they did it was like a private jam session before the concert where they were out there practicing on the stage before we got in. But then when we got in, Wolf was kind of like, hey guys, what do you guys want to hear?
Oh, that's cool.
And, some people mentioned stuff that they would be playing that night. And then a couple of people mentioned songs that they weren't playing. He's like, we're not going to play that tonight, so let's do that one for you.
Yeah.
And it turned into this little jam fest of songs that they weren't performing. They played about 5 songs for us.
Now, were they medleys, or were they like, when I say medley, where they do not the whole song, they do maybe half the song?
Yeah, it was probably about half, 3/4 of the song.
Like
There was
verse and chorus.
Yeah, no vocals or anything like that, but
Oh,
it was just
okay.
a jam session.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay, that's pretty cool.
Just playing the instrumentals and all of the instruments. So it wasn't just Wolfie jamming out on the guitar. Everybody was playing.
Wow.
But yeah, they didn't do any vocals. So it was pretty cool because it was just, like I said, it was like a jam fest.
Mm-hmm.
And then they did some kind of like non-songs, just riffs and different things. But then they had a cool little Q&A where you could ask the band any question.
Mm-hmm.
And they had everybody write their questions beforehand, so they picked them at random. But I think my favorite one was they asked, if you guys were to play Big Brother, who would last the longest? And the band had no idea what Big Brother was. So it was a funny... They had to explain to them what the show actually was, what the concept was.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, okay, well, I don't know.
Yeah.
They kind of
No, that's pretty cool.
gave a half-assed answer in a sense, but it was funny.
Yeah. And it's the only band I like. I bought a shirt each concert.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna have to, I'm gonna have to continue every time I see Mammoth. We'll have to check out the schedule, see if we can. Well, we already caught them this year, but if not this year, definitely next year
For sure.
And
They're definitely my favorite current band that's kind of still up and coming.
Yeah.
And it's been fun to see them kind of grow because, how they opened for, like, Guns N' Roses when they did their big comeback tour way back when.
Yeah.
And then, I don't even remember the last time we saw them. They were playing, I want to say, with Alter Bridge.
The last one?
Yeah.
No, it was something in the Five Guns or James and the
Yeah, I remember that one
Giant
too.
Peach. No, I'm just that was James and something Guns, and there was another band. Yeah, I don't remember much about the opening bands. Oh, I think I think the first band we might have walked in and then we listened to a couple songs and went back out. I'm not sure.
Mm-hmm.
And it was, I want to say there were no seats. It was standing room like
Correct.
We've seen them before.
Yeah.
And it's like $35. I think that's with the fees.
Mm-hmm.
40 maybe. people say they, concerts are getting out of control with the prices, but yeah, with the Stones and the bigger, bands like that, Paul McCartney, you're not going to get $40 tickets. But there's a lot of good smaller bands. And Mammoth, if you haven't listened to them and you like kind of the like hard rock, they're not doing really any ballads, but their band is tight and they have fun up there, and it's a high energy show, and you will not be disappointed. I mean, we've seen them. I don't know if we saw them 3 years in a row. I know we saw them 3 times. Mm-hmm. But there's not many bands that, like newer bands, that I will like, yeah, let's go see them again.
Right.
So.
Yep.
Yeah. So, and then, what other? Oh, well, I'm not going to go into the whole. But I went to Nashville to see the Eagles. Mm-hmm. The Tedeschi Trucks opened for them, and if you get a chance, listen to our interview with Gabe Dixon from the band Tedeschi Trucks. Went to see Amy Grant. I never thought I'd see Vince Gill 2 nights in a row. I don't even own a Vince. Couldn't name a song, but he's married to Amy Grant. So, of course, he was there. Amy Grant put out a new album. We saw her at the Ryman, which I've never been to, which is the old Grand Ole Opry, which closed and then reopened years ago, and they put all this money into it. And it's I don't know how old the theater is, but it's beautiful. And then I was in Bethel to see Joe Bonamassa and J.J. Gray and Mofro. If you don't know them, look them up. And then I wish I had the name of this guy that opened, because I simply love him. I'd never heard of him before. He's probably like 25, 26. And I noticed, and it's all blues. He's playing blues. Mm-hmm. But the way he played was exactly like B.B. King would play.
Interesting.
B.B. King had this way of, like, with the way he moved his hands on the guitar, nobody else, like, played. And sure enough, this guy, since when he was 4, he discovered B.B. King. He loved B.B. King since the age of 4. And I don't know if I can look up real quick on my phone. And by the way, this is not going to be edited, folks. We're busy people. We don't have time to edit, But I'm gonna. I don't know if I can find them. Real quick, I probably can't find them. I don't know if it's in my. I don't know. I'm trying to think of a song that he. Anyway. I'll maybe when I find the next podcast I'll talk about them more.
There you go.
And then I also went to Asbury Park, and this was all 3 of these shows were with my friend Tim, and I saw this guy Eddie 9 Volt. He goes by Eddie 9V.
Okay.
He's he's from Georgia, kind of a bluesy rocker. Guitarist. Hopefully, I'm trying to work out an interview. I'm in contact with him. His new album's going to be produced by the guys from the Black Keys.
Oh, nice. Okay.
And Marcus King, who's pretty big, getting big. He wrote a song with him and sings on it. Mm-hmm. So I think this next album might get him a little farther. Nice guy. He's working the merch table when we went in.
Cool.
He says he usually doesn't do that, but I think his uncle was at the bank, had to go to the bank. So anyway, we're going to start. And Jeremy, you went to see...
Demi Lovato.
Yeah, Demi Lovato.
Yeah, I was actually pleasantly surprised. It wasn't as bad as I thought it would be, with all due respect. So that's one of Kristen's favorite musicians. And she actually sounded really good.
Yeah.
So that was a good
Jeremy's fiance.
Yes.
So since Jeremy's been gone, he's getting hitched.
Yeah.
It's going to be a year and a half, but so that's exciting.
Yeah.
But Demi Lovato, I listened to one of her last albums, And no, she's a good singer. Do you think she was singing?
I do, actually, yeah.
And I don't mind people that use like backing, but to build up their voice a little bit. You know.
Mm-hmm.
What is that noise?
I don't know.
Is that me?
Maybe.
Okay. If you hear any weird noises, that's probably me.
But we got a few coming up. I'm excited. So we're going to see the Toadies together.
Yeah.
Maybe AC/DC
with Local
again.
H.
Yeah. Oh, I love Local H. Yeah.
They're both 90s bands, but the Toadies, we can talk about them a little bit. Actually, let's start our music. We're actually starting our music news, so we need a little intro here.
Okay.
Well, I got news for you.
Jeremy's and that's not me. That's Dr. Phil. That's okay. So yeah, the Toadies. It's weird. I know their big song,
mm-hmm.
but I don't know if I started listening to them more now.
So did I.
And I really like the new album. I think it's like it's from the 90s, and I was into grunge. I still like grunge music. And so we're going to see them, and it's at Archer Music Hall in Allentown, Pennsylvania. And we've been there before. We were there to see The Darkness.
Yep. That was a good show.
Yeah. So I like that place. Matt and I are going to see Suzanne Vega at the Outpost in the Burbs, which is a church. And we've been there a couple of times in Montclair, New Jersey. So we like that one.
Yep.
Okay, so I wanted to talk about now Rush. You know, they're on tour.
Yeah, Geddy Lee is sick though right now, isn't he?
Well, that's what I want to talk about. Like,
oh man,
they supposedly added more shows than originally. So, you know, as you get older, should you not maybe have as many shows as you want to do? Now he's not that old. I mean, how old is he? 72. Both Geddy and Alex are 72.
Yep.
You know, and that's another reason, like the Stones decided not to tour, because Keith Richards, he's not up to traveling. And can you imagine being like 82 and going to airports and packing luggage? And I don't know. I mean, maybe you have people that do, you know, some of that stuff for you. But I don't know. The Eagles, comparing it, when I saw them in Nashville, they only did 5 shows.
Yeah.
And you could see Joe Walsh he still sounds good, but you can, he's elderly, you know, he's almost 80, and, they just didn't want to do a full blown tour, do 5 shows, and they were playing the Sphere. I always have a problem with that word, the Sphere, in Las Vegas for a while. They were good though, and like I said, and what I was getting at with Vince Gill is in the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
So I saw Vince Gill Friday night with Amy,
right,
and then I saw him Saturday night with the Eagles, and got to talk a little bit with Gabe, and Gabe's really good friends with Vince, because I was asking him if he met any of the Eagles, and he said no, they had their own area. You know, they didn't really hang out much.
Right.
And then I like to see Rush, but I think it's another one of those concerts that it's like 300-400. You know, we did that with AC/DC. The Eagles, I hope you're sitting down, the Eagles were $600 for one ticket.
Yikes.
And it was at...
I was not at that show.
Yeah. And it was at a football stadium, so we were on the field, like we were with AC/DC. And Jeremy and I might go see AC/DC.
Cheaper tickets.
Yeah, you can get tickets for $60-some. So,
yeah.
So then we're not going to really talk much about Taylor Swift's wedding. I don't know what to think of it. I think it was. I don't know. I think it was insane. I mean, I know she's worth $1 billion now, but I don't know. I think it would have been cool if she had a small wedding, you know, having all that money. But instead, let's have the biggest wedding. I'm surprised there wasn't a parade.
Right.
Yeah.
Hey, congrats to her. If you can do it,
Yeah.
go for it.
Yeah. And she, you know, she's not as young as maybe people think she is. She's like, she's 35, 36.
I was going to say, she's like my age.
So she's going to have children start soon. So next up I have William Shatner.
Oh, boy. Okay.
He plans a live heavy metal show. And there's an album. He wants to bring his heavy metal album to the stage. He's 95. He's assembled what might be one of the biggest groups of metal musicians ever for a single recording project. So the planned show would turn this star-packed recording into an immersive experience, complete with music, stories, and visual effects. Cleopatra Records calls it part concert, part theater, part tribute to what metal can do. Now, Mikey D. Do you know Mikey D?
Is he a Beastie Boy?
No.
Oh.
So he joined as the newest drummer to lay down tracks. And who is he? He was the drummer for Motorhead from 92 to 2015. He was also in King Diamond. And while they were touring with Motorhead, Lemmy kept asking him to join the band. And in 1992, he agreed, and he replaced Filthy Animal Taylor, who was fired after repeatedly being asked to get his act together. And obviously, Filthy Animal Taylor did not. You know, he had to live up to his name.
Yeah.
And now Mikey, and it's spelled Mikkey, so I'm assuming it's Mikey, maybe it's Mickey. I'd say Mikey. He's been a drummer for the Scorpions since 2016. He just wrapped up drum work for a cover of Judas Priest's Living After Midnight. And here's what Shatner said about the drums on this album. Apparently, they got every heavy metal and rock drummer they could find. He said, I needed pounding beats to make the music feel the way I feel it. Who knew Shatner was listening to heavy metal, right? The drums drive the emotion. They create the urgency, the excitement, the danger. Heavy metal should hit you in the chest and move your soul at the same time. This is William Shatner, the William Shatner.
Gets lonely in outer space, man.
Yeah. Other drummers contributing include Dave Lombardo of Slayer and the Misfits, Chris Adler of Megadeth, Vinny Appice of Black Sabbath, who I met at Chiller. He was next to his brother Carmen, who was also on this album. Carmen Appice of Vanilla Fudge. Yeah, Vinny signed Dio's, one of Dio's albums. Kenny Aronoff signed on. So did Simon Wright of AC/DC. The drummer for Blue Oyster Cult, and Matt Starr. Rob Halford of Judas Priest will perform a cover of You Got Another Thing Coming. And Black Sabbath and Iron Maiden tracks will also appear. So there we go. Yeah. I don't know. And is Shatner singing like some of these songs?
Yeah.
You know?
Iron Maiden's on my to-see list this fall.
You've got another thing. Oh, that actually sounds too good. No, Shatner doesn't sound that good. So, and I don't think I have any. Let me see here. I think we'll go into new music releases. So we'll be back in a minute. if you had any other music news.
No,
Okay.
not specifically.
So new releases, I want to start with Kiss. You know, I love Kiss. And it's a new live album. No, well, not new, but a new release. They're celebrating their landmark 76 Destroyer era with the release of a massive official live album titled Kiss Destroys Anaheim 76.
Okay.
Now, the historic concert originally performed for over 42,000 fans. Anaheim Stadium was mixed from original multi-track tapes by legendary producer Eddie Kramer. And you got CD, 2 LP vinyl, and digital platforms, of course. The live album features over 60 minutes of classic 1970s rock, capturing the raw energy of the original Destroyer album tour, alongside a legendary opening lineup that included Montrose, Bob Seger, and Ted Nugent. But this, I don't think the other people aren't going to be on this. So.
Right.
So it's 17 songs. We won't go through all the songs, but you know that leading up to Destroyer, and you have songs from that album. It starts off with Detroit Rock City.
Right.
Now the 2 LP black vinyl version includes what looks like a reproduction poster. You can also get a color splatter vinyl 2 album set for the same price as the black, which is $37.99, which is actually a decent price. Because I'm going to talk about another album that's coming out this Friday that I'm like upset about the price, because I don't buy as much vinyl as I have, but there's a couple bands that I want on vinyl.
Right.
So anyway, but I'll tell you that a little bit. Now there's another vinyl version, their picture disc, which with this deluxe package, it comes with a 40-page booklet, and a Kiss Destroys Anaheim 76 collector's coin. Like, we need a coin. And it features an illustration from the famous Cream magazine photo, which I don't think I have hanging up anymore. No, I did. It's gone. Yeah, it was over here. Yeah, I moved things around. Yeah. So I don't know. I might actually buy this, because Destroyer is like my favorite. It was the first Kiss album I bought.
Right.
And it's an odd album though. Like, for someone I think that didn't like listen to it when it came out. There are a couple, you know, like King of the Nighttime World. Flaming Youth is just an odd song.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost operatic. It's not your standard. They aren't your standard rock or pop song.
Right.
It's not like Dynasty. And then I want to go into new music releases that have come out. We got Madonna. Now I tried listening to this. I'll give anything a listen, just even if I think I might not like it. I try to go in with an open mind. But, I really think her voice is processed to a point where she may be singing, but I don't know. Now with AI enhancement, and I know we had auto-tune before, which, people that can't, like, this Charlie XCX, right? Even admitted she can't sing.
Mm-hmm.
So when you listen to... Although I listened to one of her new songs, she has a new album coming out, and actually sounded pretty good. I don't know. I did go into this knowing that I really don't like. I like Madonna's early stuff. Like, I have her first album.
Right.
Borderline was like the first, I think, song on the radio, and it's still my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a continuation of Confessions on a Dance Floor. It's called Confessions 2, Electric Boogaloo. No. Wake up, Jeremy.
I'm awake.
Electric Boogaloo. No, that's not the whole title. This will be her 15th album.
Wow.
And her first since 2019's Madame X. Next we have, which I'm excited about, the Rolling Stones, Foreign Tongues. Their last album, Hackney Diamonds, was incredible. I love that album. Now this is the album I have a problem with the price. There is no single vinyl for this album. It's double vinyl, and it's $50. And I'd like to have this on vinyl, but I don't know if I want to spend $50.
Right.
Maybe I'll buy the CD. I don't know. And I've bought CDs recently too. Now there's 14 songs on this. Of course, we got Mick Jagger, Keith Richards, Ronnie Wood. It was recorded in less than a month at Metropolis Studios in West London. Andrew Watt served as producer. He's a new, up and coming producer, I think. I can't tell you what else he produced, but
okay.
And then you also have some guests on this: Paul McCartney, Robert Smith of The Cure, Chad Smith, Chili Peppers, and Steve Winwood. Charlie Watts appears on the album. He passed away in 2021, but they still had something from him from a recording session. They put on I don't know how many songs. And they released the single In the Stars, Rough and Twisted, Jealous Lover, Divine Intervention. I think that's my favorite. This one has Robert Smith and Steve Winwood on it. Now, neither one, I can't tell if Robert Smith is actually doing vocals on this or not. It's hard to tell. Maybe in the chorus. Steve's playing the piano and the organ, and Robert's playing electric guitar.
Okay.
On this one.
Cool.
And their last album was 2023. Like I said, Hackney Diamonds. I have to say it's my favorite album of the 2020s. Right? I don't know what. But within the last 6 years, it's got to be one of my favorites. Yeah. Then we got telemarketers calling me all day. The Head and the Heart, live at Numos. I don't have any information on. Let me see. When is this? No, we're talking about July 10th releases. Head and the Heart, I only mentioned because I have seen them. I know Tim, my friend Tim, likes them, and he's seen them a bunch of times. I was wondering
if that was a band name or if that was a CD title.
Yeah, they're pretty energetic. It's hard to describe if they're pop, rock, but they're pretty good. Check them out. Jack White. This is the other album. So This Friday is a nice release date for the Stones and Jack White for me.
Yeah.
Jack White, Frozen Charlotte, it's called. And it's 13 tracks. Recent singles, God, G-O-D, and the Broken Ribs, and Derrico Demonico. I think that last song has it kind of sounds bluesy, like a couple of the songs that he released, but the Derrico Demonico at the end has this weird distorted guitar like you'd expect from Jack White. It sounds like someone's taken one of those modulators or just moving it up and down. And the artwork is says an original work from White, and it's a skull. It's a skull with a little body on it, and I've seen somewhere he poured paint over it.
Okay.
I don't know. It's I don't know if I guess he sculpted it.
Interesting.
So it's kind of a strange cover, and it's the 7th studio album from Jack White, and he's backed by an incredible band: Patrick Keeler on drums, Dominic Davis on bass, Bobby Emmett on keys. And I think they're his touring band. It says, whose collective hand is scorching hot after coming off a tour of universally acclaimed performances.
I would definitely see Jack White. He, obviously everybody knows the White Stripes, but He actually performed the Thanksgiving Day game for the Detroit Lions.
Okay.
And Eminem came out and performed with him, and it was absolutely amazing.
I might have seen that.
That was one of those that like nobody saw it coming, and then when they did this performance, it was like, wow, we want more of that. Was that
Christmas or
Thanksgiving?
I think I saw that.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Yeah. Yeah, I like to see Jack White.
Yeah, he would definitely be someone I would definitely want to see.
Oh, so the other song is Dollar Bill. That's a slow blues riff. It picks up, and the chorus, did you fall in love, and the dollar a dollar. I don't know what the song means.
Okay.
But I like it. Another song that starts slow, kicks up, slows down. I don't know why I like songs like that, you know, especially if you're not paying attention, you know, it wakes you up. Oh, this is the song where he's modulating the guitar.
Okay.
So that's probably my favorite out of the ones that were released. We got Wet Leg, Moisturizer Deluxe, which I love. I do like Wet Leg.
Yeah.
I have their first album. Now these are remixes of songs off the original album, celebrating a year anniversary, July 11th. We got July 17th, Gracie Abrams, who I like her. Daughter from Hell, third studio album. New Order, The Best and the Rest of New Order. And this is basically, there was a best of album in 1994, and there was a companion remix album from 95. So these are the two out. I don't know, I don't think they changed anything. They just, I don't know, is it a money grab? Maybe.
Right.
You know, some of this stuff maybe they remaster it and stuff. July 24th, like Charlie XCX, who I mentioned, she's blessing us with a new album. Music, fashion, and film. We got Robin Hitchcock, The Confuser, his 23rd album. It was recorded in Nashville. There's 2 singles out so far. My Dead Astronaut, which is a bouncy number I have here, and How to Feel All Right. And think of Bo Diddley meets the Ventures, a Bo Diddley beat in like surf music, you know.
Yeah.
But Robin Hitchcock, he's always been a little strange. If you don't know who he is, like back in the 80s, he had a song called Balloon Man. And then, you know, his songs are really strange. And this song I forgot about because I saw him a couple years ago. Like, Emma Jen Clark, who we interviewed a couple times, she opened for Robin at the church I talked about in Outpost in the Burbs. But he did this song, I don't think I ever heard it, and this came up on my shuffle the other day. And the song is actually called My Wife and My Dead Wife.
Oh, wow.
It's creepy and brilliant. I don't know. And it's just what you think. He's talking about his wife and his dead wife, who I think he has in his house or something. I don't know.
Interesting.
Then we have The Strokes. Reality Awaits. You know, and I did have high hopes for this album. I always give, you know, someone a second chance. There's a song called Going Shopping. It's really bad. And the lead singer, to me, always sounded like he's falling asleep at the mic. And the new song is actually auto-tuned or something. I'm serious. It is really bad. I saw them open for the Chili Peppers. I have the poster here from 2022. And they were awful. They looked like they didn't want to be there. You know, some bands you see they're having, like we talked about Mammoth, right?
Right.
They seem so uninterested. And then something was going on in the front row, and the guy like yelled at an audience member. And yeah, that really turned we didn't, you know, I don't know. And, you know, but it always seems like they're phoning it in. Go on YouTube and look up a live, like them doing a live, and you'll know what I'm talking about. A live show, you know, something. You know, they were interesting back in 2002. I look back and I remember, do you know all these bands formed in 2002? The Vines, the Hives, and the Strokes, right? And the White Stripes.
Right.
So all the bands. Yeah. And then we have the Tom Tom Club, Let There Be Love. It's a 7-album or a 6 CD set of, I think it's all their albums from 81 to 2012. Do you know who the Tom Tom Club is?
I've heard of them. I can't say I'm a huge fan.
So it's 2 members of Talking Heads. Tina Weymouth, bass player. Chris France, the drummer. They're married.
Yep. Do love me some Talking Heads.
And they took the name from Tom Tom Club. It was a dance hall where they first rehearsed. They released their self-titled debut in 81. And they had a song called Genius of Love. That was their big one.
Okay.
It remains one of the most sampled tracks in music history. Mariah Carey, Grandmaster Flash, Tupac Shakur sampled it. Then we go on the July 31st. I'm doing July. I know we're already in July, and a little bit of August, but we don't. And then I'm going to go through this pretty quickly. Alice Cooper, the studio albums, 75 to 78.
Yep.
And this is all. This is not only vinyl. I think it's also CD streaming, right? Ariana Grande, Paddle. I'm not a big fan of hers, but I just wanted to mention it.
She's doing some kind of risque movie, I think I
Really?
saw, and people are up in arms about it.
Oh.
Yeah. It was either her or Selena Gomez. I always get those two confused.
Yeah. No, I like Selena Gomez. August 7th, Hollywood Vampires at Montreux Jazz Festival. It's not a new album. And this was recorded back in 2018.
Okay. If they do a meet and greet again, I am doing it.
But I have an interesting one for you, Jeremy.
Okay.
John Carpenter.
Yeah.
Do you know about that?
I've heard about it, yeah.
Cathedral.
Yeah.
It's an album and a graphic novel. And yes, that John Carpenter, horror mastermind, musician John Carpenter, announced Cathedral, debut graphic novel and companion album, promising to be his heaviest musical work yet.
Okay.
Graphic novel will be released August 4th by Storm King Comics. Album comes out August 7th on Sacred Bone Records. Be cool to get the comic. I don't know how extensive the comic is, but to read the comic while you're listening to the album.
Yeah.
Maybe it kind of goes together. Let's see. They released the single Lords of the Underground. It says a chugging metal soundtrack with ghostly synth accents, familiar but disorienting Carpenter piano medleys. And the novel was inspired by a cinematic and vivid dream from 2024 that Carpenter had. The story centers on an abandoned church in downtown Los Angeles. After a police officer's killing draws attention to the long-ignored cathedral, 3 cops are pulled into an investigation that leads them deep into the catacombs and toward a centuries-old evil imprisoned within. So it sounds like there's something underneath the church.
Right.
And he created the graphic novel with his wife and longtime creative partner, producer, and editor, Sandy King. And yeah, so check that out.
That just made me, that just reminded me, I should say. I forgot to send this to you, but did you see Danny Elfman has some kind of tour coming up?
Oh, okay. Yeah, that would be interesting.
Yeah. And there was a Philly date.
Mm-hmm.
So
he's really strange.
Yeah. John Carpenter made me think of that connection.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And there's new album, I didn't go into August, but the other one, I think it's called Traveler, and it's by Grace Potter, who I like. I just saw that one last night come up. But I listened to a couple of songs, and I don't know. I like Grace Potter when, the early stuff, when she had like, her songs were so, they had horns. They were like, her band was so tight, and then she went solo.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who's in the band now, but her songs I think are kind of, I have to say, wimpy. She still has the voice. She has a great voice, but the songs don't really do anything,
Yeah.
So, okay, so that does it, I think, for new music releases. And we have one more segment where we're going to take a little break, and we're going to be back with Give It a Listen. We're going to talk about a new song, and we're going to end with the song too. So we'll be right back. Okay, and we were back just like that.
Look at that.
We really didn't go anywhere. We're just sitting here.
Shh. They didn't need to know that.
So I want to talk about new single by a band called BYWATER CALL. Is This Thing On? And they are a Toronto-based band. They are a blues band. And I'm also lining up an interview with the lead singer of this band. And then I'm going to find out where they got their name from, BYWATER CALL. So they have a new album coming out July 29th, Broken Souvenirs. Is This Thing On is a haunting, soul-stirring blend of soul, Americana, blues, and folk. Gritty, intimate, and emotionally charged, built around beautifully arranged acoustic guitars, sweeping strings, and a raw magnetic vocal performance. The song lays bare the vulnerability of sending art out into the world, exposed, unguarded, and searching for connection. Captures the quiet fear that after pouring your heart and soul into something, no one may be listening. So when you listen to this song, you might think it's about, someone who has, wants people's attention, but you don't know what it is. But it is about making music, putting all this time into it. Even going on tour, for them playing, and these, there's a lot of bands out there play, small clubs. There's nothing wrong with that.
Right.
You just hope that people come see you. And is this thing on? And it's a grind. It's a struggle. And even going in, Jeremy and I, we like independent horror films. We like horror films, but those people making those films, not even music, but also, how it's a grind, getting people to see what you've done.
Yep.
I do think I've said this before, I do think it's easier to try to get because of streaming and all that. I mean, I just recorded an EP, 7 songs, and I'm on Apple Music, Spotify, and I just hope that people, I don't have an agent or anything, I just did it to be, keep myself creative and stuff. But so anyway, back to BYWATER CALL. Here's a couple reviews. This is from Rock and Blues Muse, and check out this website. It's a rock and blues online site. It has reviews, interviews, music news, like sort of what we do. Mm-hmm. But there's a lot of information on there. It's a good place to keep up with, new stuff that's out there. I haven't even gone into like the interviews that they've done.
Right.
But they quoted, so Megan Parnell, who is the lead singer, they say is the band's secret weapon, not just with her one-of-a-kind killer voice, but with her personal strength and power that come through every song. BYWATER CALL stride into uncharted territory with meaningful lyrics and music that stands for something. Now, the next quote is from the great Joe Bonamassa, who I mentioned earlier, saw up in Bethel, New York, you know, where the original site of Woodstock was.
Yep.
So Joe talked about them on his Sirius XM radio show, and he recently said, one of my favorite bands, Megan Parnell, does a hell of a job. Put them in your playlist, embrace it, get the name out there. So that is great that Joe Bonamassa is talking about them. So maybe that. And they were also, it's a little strange because the person who is their publicist, he's in the UK. They're in Toronto. But I guess they must play in the UK a lot too. And they were up for a UK Blues Award a couple years ago.
Right.
They didn't win. They were nominated, but they were up against, it was an international blues award. So people that aren't from the UK. And it was Lark and Poe, who are pretty big in blues, you know, two sisters. I think they won the award that year. So Is This Thing On has already become a fan favorite at live shows. It was recorded at Palace Studios in Toronto. Now, I think Megan's voice is pretty close to Susan Tedeschi, if you know Tedeschi Trucks Band. So if you're a fan of that, if you're a fan of the blues, you know, like, I don't know, I'm very, like, when you listen to their songs, you first notice her voice is just strong, incredible voice. So I want to thank everyone for listening today. And I'm happy that Jeremy joined me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me back.
And
that was more my fault than Rob's. He's been trying to get me on, but
and maybe you'll be back soon.
Yeah, hopefully.
And thank you for making me a groomsman.
Yes. Yep.
On a personal note.
Yep.
So you can contact me at nogoodmusicpodcast@gmail.com.
Did the second track stop?
No. We have a little. Okay, we're good.
Okay.
And no, I'm not editing that out. This is live, folks. No, we're just looking to make sure we're still recording. Hello, is this thing on?
Yeah.
So you can email me at nogoodmusicpodcast@gmail.com. Let us know what you like or don't like about the podcast. I don't know. If you're a musical artist, you can send us a song. Like I said, that I'm gonna do one more of these for the summer series, but we pretty much maybe towards the end of the year I'll do another one with music news and stuff. So we'll see. We don't do this as much as we used to. Give it a listen. But I want to thank Peter Noble at Noble PR. He gave us permission to play part of this song, which is This Thing On by Toronto's BYWATER CALL. And he's also been able to line up an interview, like I said, with the lead singer. We're hoping for September, so stay tuned for that. So thank you again, Jeremy. And remember, turn off the TV.
And turn up the music.
Is this thing on? Can anybody hear a word I say? Am I searching for light in the darkness just to watch you get further away? Is this thing on? Can you hear me loud and clear? Oh, if we can't hold it together, will we ever get out of here?
You've been listening to No Good Music. Today's show was produced by Rob J. Lilly and recorded live and unedited at the Did You Say 7 Studios in Washington, New Jersey. You can find No Good Music on Podbean, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, and almost anywhere you listen to podcasts. The song Is This Thing On by the band BYWATER CALL. Used with permission from Peter Noble at Noble PR.